thank all of you all for joining us today. We certainly appreciate you all coming out. I know it's a Friday afternoon. I hope that you all had a chance to eat lunch, so now you're just well rested and full and ready to be excited and hear about what we've been up to. Before I get started, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our college advisors that are here with us today. I'm going to talk about them more in depth, but I want to just start with this piece. We currently do have nine advisors who are out in the field serving in our high schools. But today you get a chance to see eight of them. The other advisor, no, she didn't resign on us. It didn't get that hard. No, she isn't sick, or no, she's not late. But it is our pleasure to share with you that we have an advisor. Her name is Raquel Good, and she serves at J.F. Webb High School in Granville County. And at this time, as we speak, she is getting ready to join President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama in the holiday reception at the White House. So we are certainly excited that we have an advisor that is part of the College Advising Corps. She is representing NC State, but more importantly, she's representing the students of Granville County from J.F. Webb High School. So when you see eight, don't worry, it's okay. She's definitely put in her work and her time, and you'll still get a chance to hear from that advisor. So as I go ahead and get us started, the College Advising Corps, some of you may have heard about it, and you may have heard some things. They place recent graduates into high schools. They do a little of this, a little bit of that, but what is it all for? And you might have your own reasons, of course, what it's for. But big picture-wise, the main reason, clicker is, there we go. The main reason, or one of the main reasons that the College Advising Corps is so important is that by 2018, over 62% of the jobs that will be available will require some form of post-secondary education. That's a fact, okay? And to that, here alone in North Carolina, only 38% of North Carolina residents between the ages of 25 to 64 possess some form of post-secondary degree. We have a ways to go here in North Carolina, specifically. And even further, going down, in our high schools here in North Carolina, we have a guidance counselor to student ratio of 375 to 1. Barely 20 minutes of conversations are being had between high school students and their guidance counselors about the pathways to college. Now, if you remember your college days, you know more conversations are happening than just college conversations. We have students who are facing behavioral things, social issues, family problems, and oftentimes those become the peak of the conversations. And those college conversations sometimes get put on the back burner or are never had for our students. And when you live in North Carolina that has over 685,000 rural students alone, somebody has to step in to make that conversation happen. And that brings us to the College Advising Corps. The mission of the College Advising Corps is a high-impact, data-driven program that takes recent college graduates who now in North Carolina come from NC State University, UNC Chapel Hill, Duke University, and Davidson College. And together, we are placing these graduates into high schools to serve alongside those guidance counselors to balance out those conversations, to make sure that they're meeting with those students who may otherwise never have someone talking to them about college. Our model, just to kind of explain a little further, we have a near-peer model. So we purposefully employ recent college graduates because who else is going to talk about the college experience than those who just left? Additionally, our advisors also represent the backgrounds of their students so that they're able to relate to their students and share with them in those experiences that may become the barriers to college. We're a research-based organization, so we also operate on the model of best fit, best match. That we're not just shepherding these students and having them complete college applications because the number sounds good. That's easy. Our advisors are developing one-on-one relationships with their students to get to know them on a personal level so that they're making sure their students are applying to best fit schools. So there might be a student who really wants to go to UNC Chapel Hill for engineering. And they only want to go to UNC Chapel Hill because that's all their parents have talked about. That's all they see on TV. But maybe no one's ever told them, you may not want to go to Chapel Hill for engineering. But let's look at NC State, or let's look at North Carolina A&T. Those are the types of conversations that our advisors are having with their students. We have an open door policy, so our advisors serve all of their students in the high school, not simply a cohort of students who apply or opt in, not just senior students, but they are meeting one-on-one with freshman students up to seniors. And even beyond that, several advisors are going outside of the high school and even interacting with the members of their communities to make sure that this truly is a group effort in increasing our college-going rates. We're partnered with flagship institutions across the state, such as NC State, to make sure that our advisors have the support they need in the field, and for our partner schools to know that it's not just an issue that's happening in the K through 12, but we acknowledge this and we want to do our part. And that's, so how do we measure our impact? How do we look at what we're doing? How do we know what we're doing is working? Our advisors do their work following these 8 key performance indicators. So for the first part in looking at college enrollment, we all know in order to even enroll, you have to take the SAT or ACT, you have to apply, and you have to submit a FAFSA application. Our advisors keep track of all of those pieces. So they're working with their students one-on-one, ensuring that they are registered for the SAT, ACT, ensuring they know about fee waivers. They're working with their students on college applications from that best fit, best match model, as well as making sure that those students are completing their financial aid applications, knowing the difference between FAFSA.gov versus FAFSA.com. And following along with that, our advisors set up college visits to their colleges across the state. They are inviting college reps to come and speak to their students right there in their high schools. They are setting up and helping with college fairs. So we have CACRO here in North Carolina. Our advisors work very closely with those admissions reps to make sure that those students are prepared to ask the questions they need to know. Additionally, our advisors are in the classroom. They are right there bringing that college knowledge right in front of their students. And they're making sure that their students are made aware of the scholarships that they should be applying for to eliminate that financial barrier to college. And to date, as I mentioned before, we have 9 advisors. And so far, our advisors serve over 6,000 students in their high schools. Our advisors have also met one-on-one or had over 2,400 one-on-one interactions with their students since school has started. Additionally, over 1,800 college applications have been sent at our high schools following that best fit, best match model. And last but not least, our advisors take seriously parental involvement. And we were just notified that we rank top 5 out of the other 23 partnered institutions within the advising corps in initiating parental involvement with their students. I just want to give our advisors a hand clap for that. That's a lot to have happened since September. So we are excited. They have really hit the ground running, and I have been so excited to share this with you all. And I want to make sure I don't jump ahead of myself. Yes, so without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our advisors. As the first group comes up, we will be presenting to you 3 presentations, and it will be following the Pacha style. So this is a new format of presentations in which our advisors will showcase some of the programs they have put on, starting with College Application Week, to how they've been engaged in the community with community involvement, and then further big picture on how they create their college-going culture within their high schools. So as they're talking to you, they will be telling you their story with images that mirror those stories and their experiences. All right? And they will introduce themselves to you.
Hi, I'm Callie Wickert, and I am the college advisor at Riverside High School in Martin County.
Hello everyone, I'm Danny Lechner. I'm the college advisor serving South Creek High School in Martin County. I'm Drew Jackson. I'm serving Plymouth High School in Washington County, and we'll be talking about how the College Application Week impacts students for the better. College Application Week initially started as Gear Up North Carolina, in which a certain high school encouraged students to apply to at least one post-secondary institution. Over time, it spread to the statewide initiative that it is today. College Application Week has all community colleges, most private colleges, and some public colleges waive their fees for students so that way they can eliminate some barriers. College Application Week is performed by most high schools in North Carolina. All of us within the College Advising Corps do College Application Week, and some states do it as well under different initiatives funded by different organizations. Hopefully all states do it someday. College Application Week is usually done during the second week of November. This year it was done from November 10th to November 14th. Most students elect to perform College Application Week during the school day to get help from the advisors, where each of us who have their own unique style help the student out. Some of them may decide to take it home and do the application if they're feeling extra ambitious, but oftentimes they come back to us if they have any questions. We do College Application Week to eliminate as many barriers as possible. We eliminate the first generation barriers of students whose families may not have been to a college before. We eliminate the low income barriers so that way students don't have to constantly pay for application fee after application fee. And finally, we eliminate the barrier of students who may not just know about college, but perhaps they just need a little bit prodding along. And we create happy and smiling faces such as this, where you can clearly see the impact of someone applying for college, hopefully surely getting accepted to Meredith College and creating a better future for herself. And without further ado, I will turn it over to Callie and Dan.
So before College Application Week can even begin, we had to prepare our students to decide where they were going to apply. And with 58 community colleges, 31 private colleges, and 3 public universities offering free applications during this week, they had a lot of decisions to make and not much time to make it. So we had to make sure that they could make informed and intentional decisions about where they were going to apply. Danny and I created banners at our schools for students to sign and pledge to apply during College Application Week. We put these up in the weeks leading up to the program so that they could ask us questions and be aware that the event was going to be going on and express any concerns that they might be having. One criticism of College Application Week is that students may be applying to schools that are not a good match or fit for them just because the application is free. To reduce this from happening, one of our advisors created cards for her students that highlighted where they should apply based off of their majors and interests that they had expressed to her. That way, when they sat down to do their applications, they would have a good idea of where to start. We also made sure to arrange time on campus for students to work on those applications. Because our students don't have, or some of our students don't have internet at home or may need extra assistance answering those confusing questions like, what are my extracurricular activities, or how do I list my college classes, this was a great opportunity for them. We also incorporated fun activities to the week, like this bingo board that had college-related clues about teachers in our school. This was an opportunity for students to learn about their teachers' college experiences and have some discussion with them to open up those doors for conversation as well. Another fun activity that a lot of our advisors implemented were door decorating contests between different classrooms. Students worked together to decorate doors on college themes like the application process, why college is important, or maybe some schools that the teachers had graduated from. This brought the community together, and students were able to win prizes to continue to encourage them to participate. Both of these activities also brought students together with their teachers, like I mentioned earlier, because many of them may not consider the fact that their teachers had to go to college too to get where they are. And so when those doors are open for that conversation, they can get advice not only about applications, but college life in general.
In order to actually get students to participate in College Application Week, advisors had to come up with creative incentives in order to get students to submit applications. At Riverside High School, they decorated cupcakes with their favorite college choices. And at South Creek High School, we actually had photo booth opportunities so that they could post those pictures on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, of course, social media. And actually, both of our schools, we had students make mini pennants for every single school that they applied to, even those students who applied to 11 schools. And then we hung those pennants up in the walls in our high schools just to celebrate the students and give them the opportunity to see full spectrum the success that they've had. Everything that we do as advisors is intentional and designed to make an impact. So when we consider our programming, it is crucial to consider the population that we serve. College Application Week helps low-income families, and it helps break down some of those barriers. For us, it helps us to break down the barrier of college application fees. So to show that impact, we asked our advisors to gather some information about their own College Application Week experience. We asked them to submit on number of applications total, number of students who participate, and of course, the amount of money that was saved. For example, at South Creek High School, go Cougars, through the combined wonderful effort of our faculty and staff and my wonderful on-site counselor, we were able to have 79% of our seniors submit college applications during College Application Week. Such a huge impact means that students were prepared for College Application Week, they knew they were going to apply, and they were ready to save some money. And save money they did. The average cost of a college application is anywhere from $15 to $75. So your typical student applying to more than 5 schools is going to pay upwards of $125. Well, at South Creek High School, our students saved over $4,800 in applications, and the NC State College Advising Corps, over $20,000. So, as you heard Patty say earlier, over 1,800 applications have been submitted to date. Over half of those were submitted during College Application Week alone. College Application Week makes an impact. It helps students succeed, and it opens those doors and opportunities, and that is something that we need to continue every single year. Thank you very much.
So, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Marcus Jones, and I serve South Granville High School.
And my name is Michael Stedman, and I serve Northmore High School. And our third member is Raquel Good. She serves JF Webb, but like we said, she's not here. You will get to hear her voice, though, so that is a treat, let me tell you. All right, so what we're going to talk about is community engagement. What community engagement is, why it's important, and what us as college advisors are actually doing. So the definition of community engagement is simply the process by which individuals and organizations work together to create a common vision for the community.
So community engagement, it's important because it's imperative to interact with your students and talk with your students in their natural environments, and also networking with the staff as well who live in that environment. It's just imperative to get in a community and know them, so you know how to work when you get in the school systems in which they go to, obviously.
Specifically in my school, we have a motto called the Mustang Way, which is integrity, respect, and responsibility. The Mustang Way is the fiber of the Robbins community. So that means that our students, when they turn in assignments, when they work in their communities, and their day-to-day life, they are living the Mustang Way. It's important to integrate that into our communities. So Robbins is a water tower town. What that means it is a small place seated in northern Moore. Moore is divided into Northmore and Southmore, with more than 2/3 of the population and the resources being in the southern Moore area. So that means that our kids in Northmore don't necessarily always receive the other benefits and resources that they have. But one thing that we do is we work on the resources that we have in our county. So in Northmore specifically, we're working with local business owners, we're working with restaurants, things like that, where we can meet with the students where they are. So that's taking us outside of the classroom, outside of the school walls, and we're really working to have those conversations in places where we're not. So this is a picture of Chicken Hut, as we refer to it. And it's a really cool place to be. A lot of the students are there after school. It's a place to hang out. It's got really good food. So when we're there as advisors or as the guidance staff, we're just talking to students outside. We're letting them know that there are opportunities for them. And those opportunities are being made when we're checking out at the food line and we're asking our cashier, hey, have you submitted that application yet? Or when we're walking down the street and a student is trying to hide behind a light pole. That's just us being out in the community and us hammering them just about this is why we're doing this. And that's part of our brand as the NC State College Advising Corps. We're working to expand educational opportunities to all students. And as part of that, it's just being out in the community. It's letting them know that we're here. And really, it's branding ourselves so that they're coming up and so parents are coming up and say, hey, have you talked to my student yet?
So involvement. At my school, I help to coach indoor track and cross country. I love track. I love what it stands for. I love the aspect of hard work, dedication, and determination. And that's what's needed for students to succeed in high school and even college. So I love how track is representative of life. You know, you get in what you put in, right? So objectives. So my objectives is I want to show students the alternatives. Like, you can be an engineer, you can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer. I talk to them during practices, I talk to them before practice, talk to them after practices, just to instill that opportunity of success. Observations, I've noticed that my students are kind of uncertain with what they want to do with their lives. So that's what I'm there for, to show them the right way, just motivate them the right way and into the right direction. And there are a few that know what they want to do, but very few. My method of motivation, so what I do is I show them their alternatives. Like, for those who love track or love sports, I show them you can go to a four-year university, you can get a full ride, you can get a full ride to a university, you can, you know, run track, do something that you love, and it also instills hard work, because you know for a D1 school you need a 2.3 GPA to even think about college athletics, so that gets them working hard too. So reception, so I'm from a small town as well, and I understand what these students are going through. I understand that they lack the adequate resources that their contemporaries and like bigger communities have, so I'm there to show them that if I did it, you can do it too. And so my message is that hard work is everything, both inside and outside the classroom. If you want to be successful in anything, you have to put in the time and the effort. And that's what track is, and that's what being a high school student and potentially being a college student is. So that's my message.
I believe that building trust with my students is very important when it comes to being effective as a college advisor. I can tell them all day how much I care about their futures, but it is my actions that speak volumes. They know I'm not just telling them about their college access process because it is my job, but instead I want them to experience one of the best experiences of my life, college. I was an advisee, and because I was once my students, connecting with my students came a lot easier than I anticipated. I had a been there, done that attitude that did not allow any room for excuses from my students. That attitude was quickly shifted when I found there to be a significant amount of orphans that attended my high school. They presented a challenge to myself that I was not prepared for. They lived at the Masonic Home for Children. If you are a senior who lived there, you were only given the option to attend the community college in the area, even high achieving students. And yes, I understand there's nothing wrong with community college. The problem was that because they were orphans, they were not allowed the same opportunities as their peers. They were not able to enjoy the freedom of choosing. I had to approach the situation with caution and had to understand what it meant to be an orphan. I scheduled a meeting with the educational coordinator at the orphanage to learn more about my students and to propose a plan so that all students had a fair chance of attending college. I explained why it was important for students to have a choice. I don't know what I said, but the staff was pretty convinced by the work that I do, and you can see that I was very passionate about college access. Not only did they agree to allow the seniors to attend four-year colleges, but I was also asked to set up a resource office and hold a college prep series at the orphanage where I work with 6th through 12th graders. Now that I'm a regular volunteer in the community and in collaboration with the administration at the Masonic Home, I was able to knock down one of the many barriers that orphans face. Those students now have the opportunities to attend the college of their choice and are much more excited about the college application process. Most importantly, they know that I'm here to advocate for them and that I genuinely care.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Danielle Neer, and I'm the college advisor at Franklinton High School.
Hello, everyone. I'm Frances De Los Santos, and I'm serving Bunn High School.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Allison Lee, and I am the college advisor at Lewisburg High School, and we are the college advisors from Franklin County for the NC State College Advising Corps.
So if I could take a quick show of hands, how many of you had a college-going culture in your high school? All right, a few of you. Actually, there's a lot of you. So college-going culture is super important because it gives access to students of all grade levels the opportunity to get the information that they need to get into the school that is best fit and best match for them. So, you guys just close your eyes for a second and go back to your high school years. Imagine what your teachers were like, what kind of classroom did you have, what kind of atmosphere did you have all together. Alright, now open back your eyes up, and we're going to fast forward just a little bit in time until we get to today.
Today we're going to talk about the college going culture. It's our job, it's our mission, our passion, our purpose as college advisors to put anything and everything we can around our students to just immerse them into that culture, to do anything we can to get them to go to college. Whether it be college fairs or taking them on business or just talking to them on one-on-one on a day-to-day basis, as well as talking to their parents.
Currently in North Carolina, the average high school student only has about 20 minutes to meet with their high school counselor in the entire year. This is definitely not enough time to actually really understand the pathway to college, knowing what to do early on, the steps that you need to take in order to really apply, look for scholarships, and really access college. College advisors, on the other hand, our sole purpose is to meet with students one-on-one, give them the individual attention that some of them might need more than others, and really go step by step on the different processes that are going to come, and give them an idea, if they haven't even started thinking about college, of what college has to offer, really.
Each advisor goes through an intense 5-week training before we come. So this past July, we were all here at NC State, actually on Centennial campus. There are a number of people, some of whom I've seen today, came to speak to us while we were in the room, learning anything and everything we could, as well as going on college trips prior to entering the schools, just to be able to have that feel before we try to send our students away to these schools.
So the first day of school, right after 5 weeks of training, we have the opportunity to give a visual of the college-going culture. So what we ask teachers to do is hang pennants like this on their door so students can actually see where they are going to college, where their teachers went to college.
Our first major goal was to meet with 100% of our seniors by October. This was to get a really good foundation of where our student population was at, how many of them hadn't thought about college at all, which ones had already started their applications and were really on top of everything, and really pinpoint which ones needed a lot more help than others.
Professional development. It's essential and it's just crucial that we not only send our students away to college academically and socially prepared, but also professionally developed. So this comes in a number of ways. We invite representatives to our schools to talk to our students, as well as when we go out on college trips, just talking to our students about attire, the appropriate way to dress, appropriate questions to ask the college representatives, anything we can do to get them prepared.
College tours are a really good opportunity for students to really get an idea of what a college campus looks like, what a college library looks like, to see students studying, doing homework, doing group work, and really get a feel of the environment and see if this is a good fit for them and this is where they would actually want to attend. Another major point is having students meet with college representatives. We have the college fair, and then we have representatives coming into high school to classrooms so that students get the one-on-one attention with the representative and be able to ask those questions that they might not have had time to in the bigger areas.
So, standardized testing. If I could get another show of hands, how many of you actually enjoy taking standardized tests? Alright, so the exact opposite of what I saw before. This is the same response that I get from my students. So as college advisors, we have the opportunity to work with testing coordinators to prep and register students for the ACT, SAT, PSAT, and the PLAN test.
College Application Week is a really big event for us. We help students prepare for this week by giving them lists of schools that are waiving their application fee, giving them an idea of the different programs that these schools offer, and really helping them choose which schools to apply to during this week so that they don't spend too much time on schools that they might never even go to.
So classroom presentations are a really big part of what we do, and it's one of my favorite things to do. It's where college advisors get to step into the classroom, work with the students really on a whole group basis, and we work from really excited freshmen who want to figure out what classes they're taking all the way up to seniors who have senioritis and really just don't want to apply for college. So that's what we do in classroom presentations.
So along with working with seniors, we also reach out to 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders. We really want the 9th graders to really start thinking about what kind of career pathway they might be interested in so they can do their own research, and by the time they're seniors, they're fully prepared to apply to their 5 schools and really understand what kind of test scores that they need to get admitted.
So we've talked a lot about students, but what about the teachers? So I, as a college advisor, went to my high school at the very beginning of the year, and I surveyed all of my teachers and asked them, how do you feel about the college-going culture in your high school? And I took their results, created a baseline, and then I built up from there and asked them, what should I do in your high school to impact your students?
The saying is true that it takes a village to raise a child. No one individual can be responsible for the upbringing of any child. So it takes the parent, the teacher, and the college advisor, as well as the student, working in connection to make sure they get what they need to go into school. And so often we'll have parent nights where we invite the parents in and talk to them, and we have one-on-ones with parents very often through email.
So other than being a college advisors, we have very many hats in the school. So as you heard before in the previous presentation, some of us may be coaches. A college advisor could be a track coach, a swim coach. We've had college advisors work with the band or work with Team Pep. And we just try to get to a near-to-peer relationship with our students and connect to them on many different levels as a whole.
This is the heart of the College Advising Corps, reaching out to rural, low-income students who are often first generation. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon with which you can use to change the world. That is what we strive for in the NC State College Advising Corps, extending educational opportunities to all students. Thank you.
We truly do thank the advisors for the work that they're doing out in the field. Sometimes when you leave that front end experience and you not right there working with the people that you truly serve, you might sometimes forget the impact that you're making. So if you ever do forget that, please feel free to reach out to me or reach out to the advisors. Their contact information is on our website, and they would love to share with you their experiences on a day-to-day basis. So for this current academic year, as we come to a close, this is currently where we're located in North Carolina. We are serving 5 counties with 9 advisors. And we're happy to have a few reps from our current placements at this time. And so we thank you for coming and being here with us for Martin County. And for the 2015-2016 academic year, we are happy to be expanding to 20 advisors and extending our reach in more rural counties. So this is where we will be placed for next academic year. We will have 3 high schools in Duplin County. And we also have some reps that are from some of those counties who have verbally agreed so far to be partnered with our program. From Granville County, where we are currently there, Greene County, Franklin County, Martin County, Moore, Pender County, Pitt, Washington, and Wayne. And I do see a couple of our representatives from our new partners, if you don't mind standing or waving your hand in the back. Thank you. So we are happy that you all could join us as well. We are super excited, as you can see, moving forward from 5,500 students to over almost 14,000 students that we will be able to reach and impact. So with that being said, I want to take a quick time just to say thank you first to our non-college advisors. Thank you so much for the work that you all do on a day-to-day basis. I know what it was like as I was a former advisor, and I can't tell you enough. Thank you. To our program staff, if I can have Kristen Cornelius and Nicole DeTillo, if you all can stand as well. Kristen Cornelius serves as Kristen Cornelius serves as the Assistant Program Coordinator for the College Advising Corps, who has truly been the backbone for this program here at NC State to ensure that all that we have been able to accomplish was literally, I can say, because of her hard work and dedication, and I say thank you. Nicole DeTillo is a current graduate student in her 2nd year in the Masters of Higher Ed program here at NC State, and she served as a grad intern for this fall semester. And she made sure that we interacted with our advisors on a consistent basis. She shared with them current events and articles to make sure they knew what was going on in the greater higher ed world, and really just checked in with them. Nicole DeTillo is also a former college advisor from the Pennsylvania Corps. So she was really able to add her experiences to this program outside of my former experiences. So I definitely say thank you for your hard work as well, Nicole. And before I get into the formal thank yous, I also want to say thank you to all of our friends that we have in this room. We have representatives from the Division of Academic and Student Affairs here at NC State. We have University Housing being represented, which I truly appreciate, which was my experience as a grad student for helping me grow and learn about supervising or learning about HR and interviewing. So I definitely appreciate that support and growth. We also have additional students who are here and faculty members from our higher ed program. Thank you so much for training me and helping us to make sure that we put theory to practice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, to our partners, to our Director of Admissions, thank you so much for coming as well. It's important to be connected and know what's going on in the admissions world so that our advisors can make sure their students have the most recent current news so that they can help their students. And if I miss anyone, because I'm going to do formal thank yous, I'm going to get you in just a second, but I want to say thank you to our larger group, to our academic program and services staff who make sure our advisors are in the HR system, who make sure their P cards are good to go. Thank you so very much for your help and assistance as well. Now, as you can see, this work most certainly would not be possible if it weren't for the John M. Belk Endowment. And they are here with us today, and we are certainly grateful that you can join us in making sure that more students have an opportunity and have access to higher education. Thank you. To the next one. To the College Advising Corps, our national office. I didn't spend much time talking about the other programs because it's about NC State. But the national office truly is our parent, they are our parents. Anytime I have questions, they make sure that we are all serving the same mission and that we're sharing best practices. As you may learn, and sometimes there's no reason to reinvent the wheel when you may have other people who have done it and it's been done successfully. So thank you to our national office staff. If you all can wave your hand, I want you guys to see them as well. And they all represent a variety of backgrounds, whether it's from development, from evaluation, from admissions backgrounds as well. We say thank you for all of your experience and expertise in making this possible. Thank you as well. And of course to NC State. This would not be possible. The advisors got a chance to meet Chancellor Woodson yesterday. Had it not been for the yes, we will do this. So we are certainly grateful to our own campus, NC State, for making this happen and allowing this partnership and for this to grow in our own state and in really being a part of that land-grant mission that we truly embody. That's what NC State was founded on, was created for, and to do. So as our current motto states, we not only think at NC State, but if you haven't seen today, we also do. Thank you from me to you. But at this time, I want to invite our representative, Ms. MC Bell Pylan, to come up and say a few words of thanks from our Belk Endowment.
Wow, I guess it's kind of a joke that I'm following you guys. I'm not really sure. You almost need comic relief, but in the College Advising Corps, I think it is time to shine the spotlight here on our largest university in the state and just the good works that y'all have done since the early 1800s, and we just really appreciate everything y'all have done and continue to do. And advising corps members, y'all are blowing it out of the water. I couldn't be more proud of y'all, and thanks for what you're doing. Just learning what you're seeing and what we can do to change and make our state even greater than it is today is really powerful. There's a lot of people in this room that make it happen. With the endowment, Christy and Cynthia, with you guys at our helm, I feel like we're in a really good spot. Just want to give you a little historical perspective about the John M. Belk Endowment and why we are in this space and sort of started to fund the College Advising Corps. I guess about 19 years ago, my dad intentionally started this endowment, and he had the fortitude and the insight to set up the endowment for education in North Carolina. But he had the visionary to leave it loose and to figure out and to be able to be nimble and change. And so way back when state was about to be funded during the Civil War and started, at the age of 3, my grandfather witnessed Sherman's troops drowning his father because he didn't have, they thought he had money and he was a tobacco farmer. And so they thought he had gold, he didn't, and so that left his mother raising 3 children. That was in Monroe, North Carolina. And along that way, she took her 3 children and moved to Waxhaw in a horse and buggy. When she got to Waxhaw, along the way, one of the children had died. So he had to pretty much step up and help go to work immediately. He was 3 at the time. From what I've heard, at the age of 8, about the same age as my middle son, my grandfather went to the tobacco fields and started working to take care of his family. At the age of 26, with no formal education, my grandfather, $750 in savings, money that business people in the community had given him, who they didn't know or have a connection with, a $500 loan and $3,000 worth of dry goods on consignment, started Belk in 1888 in Monroe. Fast forward to 2015. That's a quick jump, but just work with me. 127 years later, the next year the endowment will be 20 years old. The endowment started as a scholarship program, which is fully funded at Davidson. And a year ago, our staff was hired, and as we jumped into this space and thinking about sort of my dad's life, he was the CEO at Belk for 50 years. He was mayor, and the common theme that ran throughout his life was he was always trying to develop a workforce. And it was a vast workforce. He needed every position. And so it was just a perfect match for us. It was anything after high school, a credential, a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree. So we thought that where we would start was with the National Advising Corps. And we thought, you've got to tell people why they need to go to college. And the statistic from the Georgetown University that opened up is why we're doing it. And as our economy in our state changes, and it is just so important that you guys are doing this good work. So I just wanted to say thank you, and thanks for hosting this and having us here.
And we're going to have Ms. Meredith Bazemore on behalf of the College Advising Corps National Office to have some remarks.
I thought I was the comic relief. Yeah, so Nicole is in Washington, D.C., as we heard earlier, so you all get me. I won't pretend to be nearly as eloquent when she speaks behind a podium. I brought notes so I could cheat, and only because I couldn't pay Jim enough to stand up here and read for me. So this is really just an opportunity for us to say thank you. I am a regional director with the College Advising Corps. Thanks to the Belk Endowment, I have the opportunity to work with amazing programs like NC State and partner with these institutions and helping sort of think about what they do. Nicole's not here. She does send her heartfelt gratitude for all of your efforts in meeting our mission. And on behalf of the College Advising Corps, I want to take this opportunity just to say thank you to all of those that make this partnership possible. First, to acknowledge the Belk Endowment for their generosity and support. As Patty has just displayed, the generous gift from the Belk Endowment has enabled our efforts in North Carolina to reach a far greater number of students. The fact that those students are rural North Carolinians is quite remarkable. So we are deeply grateful and humbled by the Belk's generosity and support in our mission. Secondly, I'd like to thank North Carolina State University, the representatives here today, and those who work with us, the campus partnership. Their leadership and vision, North Carolina State did not hesitate when we asked them to launch this partnership with us under the Belk Endowment gift. So we couldn't be more excited to have such a great partner in North Carolina State University. And next, I'd like to thank Patty and Kristen. We talk a lot at our offices about our core values. Those include tenacity, grit, passion, grace, and humility. We think you all do a great job of serving with all of those qualities every day. So we'd like to thank you and recognize that we know the work you do is hard on the ground. Lastly, and not least importantly, the advisors and the high school partners. Those of you who are here from the high schools, whether you're current or future partners, can you raise your hands just so I can see you? I don't get the chance to see all of the counselors. We understand that our advisors coming into your school setting takes work on your behalf too, and we couldn't do this, and we thank you for allowing us to serve in your high schools and be in your space and providing us resources for our advisors to use every day. Finally, the advisors, the important work we do could not be done without your commitment and your passion to serve. You all work with grace in your schools, and like Patty and Kristen, face each day with determination and grit. We recognize that some days are difficult. We recognize you have tough conversations. We talked about this at lunch a little bit with both parents and students, and we understand and recognize that that requires maturity, grace, humility, tenacity, grit, and determination every single day. So we thank you for that. On behalf of all of College Advising Corps, I'd like to say thank you to everybody involved. And to speak personally, I've just got to say that when you all were doing your presentations and I see those statistics, it inspires me and re-energizes me and reminds me why this work is so important. So I hope, I assume I speak for others in the room as well, that seeing you all up here and the work you're doing and the changes and the impact you're having really does inspire all of us. So thank you again.
And last but not least, Dr. Jose Picard on behalf is going to come.
I am.
To us on behalf of NC State, and we also have Dr. Barry Olson, who is here from the Division of Academic and Student Affairs. I don't want to exclude him as well, but they both help support the NC State College Advising Corps and where we are housed here at NC State.
Thank you, Patty. I really thank you for this opportunity to say a few words. I think like many of you, I was sitting here listening to the college advisors. I just was getting emotional. I shared with them yesterday that, you know, I came from, I went to high school down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and it was in the late 60s and early 70s. There was a lot going on down there in terms of desegregation, all that kind of stuff. And I was so privileged to have an advisor there and some faculty, some teachers who pointed me in the right direction. I ended up getting an appointment to the military academy at West Point, and I went there, was commissioned as second lieutenant, and then ended up serving in the military for 28 years actually, and got to go back to my alma mater and teach and become a professor. And I was just so moved by this whole notion of service and how important it is that, you know, we give back. And having had these opportunities provided to us to go to a great university, to get an education, and then this whole notion of giving back and serving, and it relates so much to what you do. And I think when we were hiring Patty and we were talking about what we were going to do and the culture we were going to try to create in our advising corps, and a lot of that stuff sort of resonated with me as a military officer, and I said, you know, Patty, we really got to let folks know this isn't a job, this is a calling, you know, this is serving, and that needs to be like the culture that we want to have in the work that we do here, and she's done a fabulous job. I'm just so proud of you for what you've accomplished in such a short period of time. We got you on board, and you just took it and you ran with it, and we're off to such a great start. And I'm just so proud of these advisors. I mean, I haven't gotten to really know all, because as soon as they got here, you put them to work training, and then you send them out in the field. And to me, you're like deployed out there into the, you know, that's how I think about it. And I think about you out there in the trenches, you know, doing the really hard work of making a difference. And having a purpose that's beyond you. You are going to touch young people and change their lives and the lives of their children and children forever. That's the impact that you're going to have. And that's powerful, and that's huge. And I'm just so moved by that. And I'm so glad that we could be a part of the Advising Corps. I think all of you, all the partners, I had the opportunity, obviously, to see all the training that was scheduled, and all the partners who just stepped up on campus and said, we're gonna be a part of this. We're gonna come and present. We're gonna teach. We're gonna do whatever we need to do to help you get this going. And I really do appreciate that. So, on behalf of the Division of Academic Student Affairs, the Academic Programs and Services, thank you all so much for all that you do. Thank you.
So again, thank you all for your time, for coming out on this Friday afternoon. And we won't let you leave without a giveaway. We have something for you. So as our advisors talked about, oftentimes we display things in our offices that represent what we're passionate about, what we care about, or what we want others to know about. So in our high schools, we're putting up pennants to show students all the different options of colleges that they have. Well, we have a pennant for you, and it says College Advising Corps, and we hope that you take it to your office, and we hope that you hang it up, and it doesn't stop here. As you saw the statistics, we still have a very long way to go, but it's important that we do that together. So thank you so very much, and I hope you all have a great holiday season. Thank you.